I'm Olga Faraponova, and I'm a United States dance champion and world finalist. And I'm here today with Mayor of Mukilteo, Joe Maureen, and I'm very happy to start this new program for the kids and adults in this beautiful facility.
Well, thank you, Olga, and welcome to the new center. There's a lot of history that has got us to this point. In 1893, the original Rose Hill School, there's pictures around in the building that you have an opportunity to see, that was built as a school for the Mukilteo School District, which was just getting formed at that time. And that was here on this site up until March of 1928 when it burned down in a fire. That same year, they replaced the building with the community center that most people are familiar with. That was built as a school. And then in the 1970s, it was transferred over to the city when the school district was done. Really, its useful life as a school had passed, and they transferred over to the city to be used as a community, mainly they used it as a community center. And it served that purpose up until last year. You know, Olga, one of the things when we were able to preserve from the old building and bring over to the new was the gym floor. And many of the performances that we talked about were held in the old gym. We were able to bring that floor here into the Rose Hill room as well as into the game room down below. And so that's actually been very nice for people to see that, and they recognize it right off as the old gym floors. Just to think about all of the things that happened on this floor, all the mini performances, all of the accompaniments, the basketball games, the plays. What we decided to do going out to the community was to build a new center, something that would really take on really take advantage of the site and the views available, and have all of the necessary items that a community center would have. A nice, as you see, one of our great rooms out here, the Elliott Point room, for performances and weddings, of which we used to hold in the gym of the old school. And it was okay, it just didn't really serve that purpose very well. And what we were able to do is to keep that center open until this new one was built, and then we did a transfer. So the idea was to keep as many of those programs flowing until, so there wasn't a year and a half with no programs in town. And that, I think we were very successful. In fact, I understand that you have some history in the old building as well. Not the original building, but the previous building.
My husband, Savart Wright, his mom was teaching many years ago in this place.
I know my wife has tried to get me to do ballroom dancing in the past. I'm not that great at dancing, so I I'm always willing to try and see how things go. But I'm sure a pro like yourself could teach me a couple of things.
We opened dance studio in Everett. It's called Dorothy Jane Studio. Savart Wright, who's a neurosurgeon in town, he given name of his mom is kind of keep the old history. She was, I think, some of the legend for many people in Mukilteo since she lived in Mukilteo. And after that, every time when they have a big event in the Rose Hill, in an old school or community center, our club participates, some of our kids participate and dance here in the stage.
But it was interesting, I know that Dr. Wright had gone to school at Rose Hill, so I know he has that connection there, and it's just great that he had, with your new dance studio, named that after his mom. And hopefully we can continue that dance going on in Mukilteo as well, and keep that history alive. I'm very excited to know that there are many dance programs that are going to be going on in the new center. It's probably a good workout as well. I mean, to keep you in shape, it's probably good to dance.
I just had today a gentleman who said, I hate to go to exercise room. He said, I feel like I want to try to dance. And he said, this is a good exercise. I said, absolutely. Because if you practice or dance, you don't even notice you exercise, but you do. You bend knee, you stretch your body, you stretch your spine. So it's the exercise part as well as the learning process.
So I'm very happy that you're going to be doing your classes here. Are you still going to have your studio in Everett as well? You're going to be doing both, back and forth. Just bringing a little bit of that to Mukilteo, and we appreciate that.
But I have a daughter who's 8 years old.
Okay, mentor her.
And she's right now with her partner, dance with her partner, Kula. We just come back from Utah, one of the big competition in this country, and she was in the final, finished in 4th in Latin and finished 5th in standard. She did very, very good for her age. She competed against kids who's 10 to 12 years old. I'm going to take her next week to Baltimore. It's one of the big national competition as an amateur. She's going to compete, and in a few weeks from there I can take her to Blackpool. It's the biggest event in the world with a lot of kids involved, maybe 500 couples at the age 8 to 15 going to compete in that categories. It's an exciting part.
Have you been to Baltimore before?
Yes, a few times. I was judging one of the national competition in Baltimore and teaching a few people.
And that's going to be exciting for you now, passing that along to your daughter as well. And I met her at one of the events we had at the old community center that Sanford had come out with us when remembering the Rose Hill.
Well, maybe she can dance with you today. So do you think we should start our first ever lesson in this beautiful Rose Hill Community Center?
Well, there's no better place and no better time, so I'm ready.
Okay, it's exciting.
So instead of going left, right, instead of going left.
So do you think it's doable?
Well, I think it is. Number one, you're a very good teacher, which helps a lot. But this location, I mean, when you're out here learning and you're able to just look out at the Puget Sound and the mountains, it's such a beautiful setting that it makes it easy. It's just an enjoyable place to take a lesson in. And I would certainly encourage other people to come out and not only take lessons in our community center or some of the many programs that we have available here in the center, because it's a great location. If they're taking dance lessons from you, they're going to do well, because you're an excellent teacher.
I hope we can both develop this beautiful facility with a lot of enjoyment for many people.
I'm certain of it.
And I think it's also in the people's heart.
History is definitely preserved in kind of the hearts and minds and the memories of the people. And so when they see this, it brings those back. It isn't so much in the building as it is in the people.